sorry, I'm the eldest. If you try to take it from me, I'ma leave you helpless.
I know I'm selfish, but I can't help it. Pull up on me, shooters gonna stay and what's the hell, bitch? I can fuck around with all these other hoes. I've been feeling down, cause I've been in my low. All my friends supporting make me wanna blow. Taking drugs, I'm way too high, I wanna go home. But I don't feel okay, at my low.
But I don't feel okay, at my low. At my low, yeah, I'm at my low. Say that you relate to me, but I don't think you know, no. I'm in my own zone, talking about the ozone. But he tried to run up on me, got him saying, whoa.
Bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just like, ayy. Voice so damn distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring. Ayy, good, Marty. Bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just like, ayy. Voice so damn distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring.
I'ma fuck your bitch like a fucking body pillow. Bring her to my crib, ain't talking Zillow. Shawty flying, better smoke 100 kilos. She throw it back, now she a weeping willow.
The new testament shadow the revenant. I got some powers, I'm tripping some element. You so irrelevant, body like elephant. Never did because that body was never in crowded whip. It's the shit like NASCAR. Pot of my feelings, turn my backer. He don't like me, wanna fight a cracker. But I told him go away, I'm flattered. Pull up on the motherfucking scene, get the buddy out of beans. I'm a double Lazarine. I ain't really wanna be because she study at the lean. And she can get you on the head and seen all her streams. Gotta go down, pipe down, go and bring your mama. Benjamins and counting up the commas. I don't want her cause she out of drama. Get ahead, it's pity like a llama.
Good morning, Benjamins are starting. I make this shit look easy, I'm so motherfucking boring. We be going up, slippy bodies and Warren. I only let my woman motherfucking foreign.
Good, Marty, bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just like, ayy. Voice so damn distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring. Ayy, good, Marty, bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just like, ayy. Voice so damn distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring.
JP.
Shit out your system, AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like that alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She gave me head, so I'm getting her wisdom. You need this, get this shit out your system. AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like that alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She gave me head, so I'm getting her wisdom. I've been so damn dry, can't lie. If you tryna say hello, then I'ma hit you with a pipe. When I be walking through a store, there ain't a thing that I can buy. Ooh, lately I've been looking around, I'm tryna find the antidote. Can't find a thing unless he's talking about that medical. Try to own the government, I think I'm going federal. Think that boy a fruit cause he be looking like a cantaloupe. They be getting dizzy cause I'm running around in circles. Reaching to the top, made a way over a hurdle. They think I do it cause I'm someone you ain't heard of. Living on some shit and a little bit of Smirnoff. Things are going faster than AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like the alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She give me head, so I'm getting her wisdom. You need this, get this shit out your system. AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like the alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She give me head, so I'm getting her wisdom.
Nothing to say, I done gave my devotion. Stuck in my head, going through my emotions. Killing this beat, causing all this commotion. Money on me, I'm the one who was chosen. Chasing the bag on the carry every show. Left to the bank like this shit is a joke. Why with a cane, I ain't doing no coke. Designer on me like this Burberry coat. I'm turning heads when I'm walking that bitch. I got bitches on bitches, bro, turning with a snitch. Walk with a glitch, cause I walk with a blick. I wish your bitches, she sucking my. Gave him my kiss, she gon' suck him up. If he talking on gang, we gon' fuck him up. If he talking on gang, better toughen up. Yeah, got me a bag, get your money up. This beat going fresh, alright. I wanna watch it left, cause it puts so tight. Yeah, straight so bad, I'ma give it that white. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches on me, alright. Shoot it up, body on sight. Piss like Cody and Sprite. Chop got a red dot sight. She give me it so nice. I got problems I can solve, so what the fuck I'm supposed to do? I got feelings I can't hide, I'm glad I only got a few. Someday I'll be famous, on the come up, this is my debut. Talk of me then we pull up and leave that powder residue. I'm turning heads when I'm walking that bitch. I got bitches on bitches, bro, turning with a snitch. Walk with a glitch, cause I walk with a blick. I wish your bitches, she sucking my. Gave him my kiss, she gon' suck him up. If he talking on gang, we gon' fuck him up. If he talking on gang, better toughen up. Yeah, got me a bag, get your money up. Nothing to say, I done gave my devotion. Stuck in my head, going through my emotions. Killing this beat, causing all this commotion. Money on me, I'm the one who was chosen. Chasing the bag on the carry every show. Left to the bank like this shit is a joke. Why with a cane, I ain't doing no coke. Designer on me like this Burberry coat. I'm turning heads when I'm walking that bitch. I got bitches on bitches, bro, turning with a snitch. Walk with a glitch, cause I walk with a blick. I wish your bitches, she sucking my. Gave him my kiss, she gon' suck him up. If he talking on gang, we gon' fuck him up. If he talking on gang, better toughen up. Yeah, got me a bag, get your money up. This beat coming fresh, alright. I wanna watch it left, cause it puts so tight. Yeah, straight so bad, I'ma give it that white. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches on me, alright. Shoot it up, body on sight. Piss like Cody and Sprite.
Yo, what is up, guys? We are back with a surprising stream because we're almost there to affiliated. So we decided to stream today and tomorrow, and then we'll go back into our old schedule Friday through Sunday. Right, hopefully you guys can hear us. I see you, Willie. What's up, Willie? You already have a video present. We gonna watch some of y'all
Nintendo
stuff.
GameCube is one of the greatest
What is
game
this?
consoles ever. I hold a deep love for this system, as do many
Okay,
others.
12 minutes.
It has an amazing library of games, one of the best controllers ever made, and a plethora of
What is
add-ons
this?
and accessories that made the system stand out.
No.
Despite these factors, many issues held the GameCube back and caused
Is this
Nintendo,
informational or
once
is
the
this funny?
dominating force of the video game industry, to change
Oh,
how
no,
they
this is
approached
story.
the market. It laid the groundwork of the modern-day image we see in Nintendo today. It wouldn't revolutionize the gaming world, but its
Was
impact
it fun?
Yeah.
is still
you?
felt
Yeah.
to this day. Everything has a
Oh,
story.
this
This is the story of the Nintendo GameCube and why it failed. To explain
Failed?
why the GameCube failed,
failed.
we
I don't
first
think
have
it
to look at
failed.
what Nintendo was going through before the system was even released. Nintendo did well with
I do
their
apologize
Nintendo
for the squeaky
Entertainment
noise in
and
the
Super
background.
Nintendo Entertainment Systems in the 80s
All
and
of a sudden,
90s.
she decides she
By
wants
the
to play wear a
mid-90s,
squeaky toy.
however,
Have you ever
new players in the video
played
game
like that
market were
snowboarding
pushing
game?
the industry in new
What snowboarding
directions.
game?
GameCube?
Much like
No?
Nintendo
What's
before,
snowboarding
it,
game?
electronics giant Sony became the leader in the field. The
But
release of the
Nintendo- but it's like
PlayStation
a
1 would
snowboarding
not
game
only
where you
give
could
Sony
choose
a
any
foothold in
any
the growing
character,
video game market,
snowboard
but would
game,
also set
you do
new
tricks.
records as their
It's
PlayStation
like
1
Tony
system
Hawk, but
would go on to sell
not
over
made by Tony
100
Hawk.
million
think so.
units by the end of its lifespan.
I don't remember these games in
Nintendo stuck to
GameCube,
their
bro.
guns
All the
and
old
offered a
games
more
I used to
powerful
play, I don't
and
remember
cheaper
them.
game console, the Nintendo 64.
But if you tell me about PSP, I
The
know every
problem
single
came
game.
with Nintendo's format of choice. Rather than utilizing CDs, Nintendo would continue to use cartridges. Not only were they more expensive to produce, but they also
You can
limited
find those in Goodwill.
developers on how much information they could stuff.
I used to
into
go
the
over there and go
games.
get a whole pack of
This
them.
alone caused
From Goodwill
already
because they
tense
would sell them for like
relationships with
what,
third-party
$1.
developers to
You'll find them
completely
$1 and just go and go get
the
them.
Nintendo 64.
Until the GameCube didn't want to
despite
work no
having better
more.
hardware and costing
Also
consumers
the
less,
flea market.
but only see
Yeah, once it didn't work, I just threw that whole
296
shit away.
titles released in
I
North
was like,
America,
I'm not a
and a
collector.
total of
I'm gonna throw 'em
33
away.
million units sold worldwide. Sony's PlayStation, on the
Oh,
other hand,
oh,
would
that's
see
my
almost
child right there.
8,000 titles
That's my
released on
child
their
right there.
system.
You know, I was
Nintendo
still playing with
thoroughly
that
knocked
until
off their high
2016.
stand and relegated to a
that
distant
one.
second place.
Until 2016.
Nintendo tried
No,
to
I had that
rectify
one
their
in the
partnership
PS3.
with third-party
And then I did
developers
to the
by making
PS4.
the GameCube easier to develop for.
PS2.
However,
Yeah.
Nintendo's format of choice ended up causing more
mother-
Yo,
headaches.
yo,
Rather than
when it came in a
utilizing
box,
the
it was like
new DVD
it
format,
was like a new
Nintendo
baby.
decided to use
Yo,
mini
but it had
discs.
the slick.
While
It had the
technically
slick
a
on the
form
top.
of DVD, the mini disc held
And I
less
already know what I
information
got
than
when
the
I
standard
first
DVD.
bought that one.
A
It was
regular
Spider-Man.
DVD would hold
And I
around
played
4
it,
gigabytes
bundle,
of
And
data
the
on a
graphics were
single
like
layer.
when he was like
A mini
extending, like
disc
doing
could
like the
only
tricks in
hold
the air.
1.5
It didn't.
gigabytes.
Back then, it was
Nintendo's
like,
ultimate reasoning
no.
was
But
that
then
the
when you
mini
watch it,
disc
you're
would
like,
help stop
what the fuck was I
piracy.
playing?
Unfortunately, this held
Um,
back developers
But that's
from
about
putting
it.
their best versions
But
of
then I
their
got the
games
PS4,
out on
and
the
now I'm
GameCube.
struggling to get the PS5.
Nintendo
You
even
see that?
stated
You see
that
how
the
I got all
smaller
the other
size
ones,
of the
but
mini
this one
disc
I was struggling to
would
get?
benefit creators.
So
Legendary
now I just
game
left.
developer at Nintendo,
I already
Shigeru Miyamoto
know in order
stated,
how I got
"In a
everything.
way,
I
the
got like
smaller disc is a message
Xbox
from
360,
Nintendo that you don't need to fill out the
PS2,
capacity of a
PS3,
normal-sized DVD disc.
PS4. I
If
didn't
we
get
want to make
the other
larger
Xbox.
software,
Now I
then
can't
just
get the
make
PS5. So
game
what
on
happened?
2
I
or
go back to
3
Xbox
discs.
because it's easy to
This
obtain.
didn't go
So
over
now I got
well
the Xbox,
either,
the
as
brand new
developers of
Xbox,
larger
but I didn't get the
games would see an
PS5, and I
increase
wish
in
I got it.
manufacturing costs due
So,
to the additional disc.
Whatever.
Add in
Things
higher
happen.
licensing costs than Sony and Microsoft.
They remastered that one.
Third-party developers were not interested in putting their titles
Did you know
out on the system.
for that game?
In the early 2000s,
He
Nintendo
went to.
didn't support
They made
online
it.
gameplay.
There's
Despite talking
a
about
place
supporting
where he
online
goes to
gameplay
South
before
Africa
the launch of the Nintendo GameCube,
in the game,
Nintendo
and they made all
would
those zombies
basically
black.
abandon these plans.
like every
The
single one.
GameCube did
remember-
support limited
remember that.
online
And everyone was talking
gameplay
about it. They're
through
like,
the use of a broadband adapter
South
that was
Africa?
sold separately
He's supposed to
from
be
the
at a
system.
farm. Like, what is?
Publishers and developers were
Wait.
tasked with creating and maintaining their own network.
Yeah,
of
they were
online
talking
play.
about it.
He's
Few
supposed to be at
ever
a
would.
farm?
Yes,
Sega
the
was the only
sequence was
publisher
supposed to
to
be.
support
They were supposed to
online
be at a
gaming in North
farm
America
area. Like
with their
that's what the
Phantasy
scene
Star
was.
Online games.
But they had
This
so
would
many
cause some big
black
titles to skip out on
zombies.
the
They were like,
GameCube
oh,
entirely.
it's South Africa.
Sony had an
And they
online
also said
system
that
and
the
multiple
disease
titles
came
that
from
featured
there.
play
So
through
that's
it.
why they went over
Both
there.
first and third party
So, but they had to
utilized these
they had to
Similar
wipe
to the
out that whole
GameCube, Sony
sequence
sold a
of that
separate
information 'cause
broadband
people was like,
adapter
that's
for these
racist.
uses on the PlayStation 2.
So they were like, oh, we're at a
The elephant in the
farm.
room, though, was Microsoft. Not only did the
I had this
Xbox have
too.
a built-in broadband adapter on the
You remember
system,
back in those
but
days
Microsoft
where
heavily invested
they'd be
in
like
their
a
own
substitute
network,
teacher and you're like in the
Xbox
computer
Live.
class and then
It's because
they're
of
like,
this service
and you got
that
the flash
Microsoft
drive?
was able to carve
like,
out a
COD,
part of the
Halo?
gaming marketplace.
Of
While
course.
Nintendo would claim
Hey,
that players
send me
weren't
the link.
interested in online
Hey, send me
gaming
your
and would
code
continue to
so I
do
can
so until
join.
years after the GameCube ended production,
Yo.
it's
Good
hard to
time.
argue with the
Those
success
are
that
all the
online
games that
gaming
we played
brought to
multiple
Microsoft and
in
Sony.
if you
Nintendo
didn't if
would
you were
eventually
not in
launch
like
their own service on the Nintendo DS and Wii,
Hey,
but
once
to
you hear
this
that-
day,
yo, we had a
they still
substitute.
failed
You
to
had a
implement
substitute?
online
Yeah.
services
Dang,
that
so
match
call
other
me.
game consoles or
did you have the
storefronts.
Nintendo 3DS?
Another reason the GameCube failed
Did
was
you-
that it
what was
struggled
it?
with its competition from day
It
one.
was one
Originally,
that had
Nintendo
the
hoped to
little
launch
frog
the
in it.
GameCube
Like
in
it was an app
2000,
where you can
but
go and
were
just
unable
design
to
stuff.
due
Like
to a
you
lack
can
of
draw
software ready
and you
for
can
the
like I'm
system.
gonna show you it.
Nintendo
was
would
like-
even push
I
some
forgot what it's
late
called.
Nintendo 64 titles.
And like when you go
Luigi's
into
Mansion
it, it's like a little
onto the
frog
GameCube
jumping,
to make up
and
for this.
you can find
Nintendo did
everybody
launch the
else
GameCube in
drawings, and they would
2001,
build
but did
drawings,
so
and they
3
would
days
create an
after the
animation.
Xbox
So
came
everybody
out,
became
and a
animators
full
on the
year after
3DS. Like, and
PlayStation
you would
2 in
watch
North
it,
America.
and I would
Coming
just
out
sit there for
last
hours stickers.
caused the PlayStation
Just
2
watching
to get a
people's
head start in sales and build a
watching
strong
people's
library of
drawings come to
titles.
life.
It didn't help
I used
that
to,
the
I drew
GameCube's
some
launch
too, but
lineup
they were like all
wasn't the
stick figures,
best.
like
A
just
small
going like
batch
this.
of titles that notably lacked a plumber with a red hat
Well, it was pretty
didn't
cool.
seem to impress
stick
people
figures
as
from
much as
yesterday.
Nintendo had hoped. Normally, an average launch for a game console wouldn't make a huge
I had this
difference.
too,
But a massive drought of new releases in
I had
early
this too.
2002
but
only
not
hurt the
in this
GameCube more.
way. I had it in like the
wasn't
current
just
one, the current
delayed
Switch,
launch that gave the GameCube
the
trouble.
current
The
Switch.
PlayStation 2 functioned not only as a game system,
Oh, you know
but
that's a
also
throwback. You
DVD
want to see what camera
player.
they got?
This was an incredible asset to the system.
I had
as
that
many
one. Look
DVD
at
players
it.
Cost
I had
just as
the-
much as the
I had
PlayStation
the-
2 at the
that
time
one
of
and
its
also the
launch.
Slim.
The Xbox would
Then I got
also
the big-
support DVD
the big Mama
playback,
3.
albeit
I
I didn't
with
get
the
that
purchase
Xbox.
of
I
a
had the
that
other
was
one.
too.
You
That
had
was-
this
that was-
one?
yeah.
the divide
Yeah,
between
well,
the
do you
computer
had that
and
one?
the
I didn't have that
further.
one.
It was good.
I had the
Nintendo
other one, the
was
one that's like
never
a
hesitant to say that
white,
the GameCube was a
and you had
system
like the one that came with the
specifically
Ring of
for video
Death.
I had
games.
that too.
But that's
Nintendo
the
would
one I started
sometimes
off with.
Even refer
Oh,
to
really?
I didn't start
as a
off with the
Started
other
off
one.
with the line.
No, I didn't start
Nintendo
with
had
that one.
struggled with its image.
I started
since
with the one that
late
came with a Kinect.
1980s. Sega famously
I
made
started with
Nintendo
the
come off
Live,
as a
then I
company
switched to,
interested in
Ring
making
of
children's
Death
toys
one. Oh my
as
gosh, when I
opposed to
see that red,
titles aimed
like,
at an older
No,
audience.
me and
The
my
image
brother,
problem
we
hit its
received
peak
the
with
ring.
the
We received the
GameCube.
Ring of Death,
The system's
and he
strange
tried to
design,
fix
which
it.
supported
So,
a handlebar
guess what happened
and
when he
came in
tried to
colors
fix it?
such as
The
indigo
back came
or
off,
stark
the top
contrast to
came
the
off.
bulky and
Let me
solid
tell-
black consoles
The
from its
bone.
competition.
It was it had
GameCube
it was
controller was
skeleton.
also a
So
hard
when we
sell at
played it,
first glance.
we had to press the button,
featured
and
oddly
you could
shaped
see all the
buttons with different
components this
colors.
doing this thing.
The toy
He
image
never put it back
has been
together because he couldn't put it back
capitalized on by
together.
Nintendo's
So that's how we
competitors,
played it
as
until
well
it died
as the
completely.
third-party developers who didn't back
Yeah,
the
the
system.
Xbox 360.
American
liked the
audiences
Xbox
had
360
supported
because
Nintendo
of the
systems pretty
customized,
consistently
like,
over the years,
customized
but they would see a drop off with the
Avatar
GameCube.
was nice.
Yeah.
Nintendo of Japan was perplexed by this.
That was the.
Western audiences
only-
had
oh, I played
grown
that
to
too.
enjoy more
Yeah.
mature and
Like,
violent games over the years.
But that's the only games that
Carl
I've started
Mercury,
off with.
someone who was
And
hired
now
to
we're going
market the
crazy with
GameCube in North
futuristic
America,
stuff. Games are
recalls
improving,
an almost
graphics are
famous quote
improving.
from an unknown Nintendo executive. Consumers
Now
don't
we over
want
here
fun
in
anymore.
VR.
They just
doing
want
all
to
this
kill
stuff.
people in HD. Whether or not this was ever
Look at
said
that.
by a Nintendo executive, it's pretty clear that Nintendo's headquarters had difficulties understanding the Western market.
That's
By ignoring
Metroid,
or
right?
at least failing to
That's
understand
Metroid.
older
That's
audiences,
Metroid. When
Nintendo
everybody thought that was
struggled with their
a man
image for
until
the
she took
entire
out the stuff
generation.
and her
Nintendo of
blonde
America
flowing
seemed to
hair
understand that
was in
this
the
was a
breeze.
problem and tried to rectify it. They would start to push for more mature titles on the GameCube as early as 2002 with the launch.
You know what
of
game I
Eternal
usually
Darkness.
go
Perry
with
Kaplan, the
is
vice president
Prince of
marketing
Persia.
and
I
corporate
hated that
affairs
game
for
with a
Nintendo of
passion.
America,
I hated that
summed it
game.
up
I
best.
hated that game.
The kids who played
Like,
Mario when they
I don't
were
understand
6
how people
are
could
now
play that game.
28.
Mostly the one
They
that I
still
hated.
want to play
Mostly the
Mario,
game that I
but they
hated out
want
of Prince of
some other
Persia is
stuff.
the one Sand of
For
Times.
most, however,
I hated
it
that.
was
I
too
hate
little,
me going
too late. They'd
reverse.
already
I'm
moved
like,
on past
oh, I
Nintendo.
should. If I want to die, just let me
The
die.
misunderstanding of their audiences stems from the
wasn't bad.
miscommunication between
not bad, but I
Nintendo
didn't
of
like it.
Japan and Nintendo
It,
of
like,
America.
it's not something that I would come back
and the
to.
entire
Let's just say it's
company's
not something I would come
overconfidence
back to.
in their product. Early on, Microsoft wasn't even a competitor to the GameCube. Nintendo and
Look
others
at his face.
thought that a computer software giant, especially an American one, would
Look at
not
back in the
understand
day, they just
gaming
made the
culture.
controllers look like
Eventually,
anything.
Nintendo would see themselves as an outlier
Wii.
in the game industry, with the GameCube and its successors.
I'm not gonna
They would
lie, I
embrace
fuck
coming
with
up
all
with
the
their own ideas
Nintendo's
to chase,
designs.
rather than
Like
the
they
most
weren't
popular
bad.
trend
Like for
others
real,
were
for they
setting.
weren't bad. I see
Before the
where
launch
they
of
were
the
going with
GameCube,
everything.
Nintendo
You know,
oftentimes seemed
like, I think
overconfident in their product.
The Wii was the
In
only one that I
interviews,
didn't stay for a
executives would
long
often
period of
state that
time
the
with.
GameCube was going to
Like,
sell simply
it
because
didn't
was a
have games
Nintendo
that I would
product.
enjoy
While the
for
company
like
had a strong
forever.
history in the young
It was like,
video
ooh,
game industry,
ooh,
much of
look
the
at the-
avant-garde at Nintendo
It was not for
failed
me.
to
The
see
minute
the
I played it
significance
at
of many
GameStop, I'm
trends.
like,
This
And
overconfidence
that's the
would lead
majority
to
of the places that I have played it, and I was
disbelief
like, I should get
after the
one.
GameCube failed
And I
to
got
meet
it, and I
its
brought it back the
sales
same
targets.
day.
The Nintendo GameCube was, in many ways, a failure.
It wasn't bad
Nintendo
though.
made a lot of mistakes with the system. Their failure to understand and properly market the game system came down to their
Even though they didn't
misunderstanding of
market
an
it,
ever-growing
people still
gaming
went to go
community.
buy.
They
You know what I'm
didn't
saying?
embrace
Even
popular trends
after
like the
all their
DVD or
sales,
online gaming.
they got
They
majority
created
of
an oddly
their
shaped
sales
console and
after
marketed it in
the
an even
after the fact.
stranger way.
So like
While
for
its
instance,
family-friendly
once
nature
the
helped
game
in
started
some
populating
aspects,
and they were
it drove
showing
others
trailers
away.
of different
Nintendo
games,
failed
that's
to
when people
truly
wanted to go in the
improve on its
GameCube.
third-party
That's when people wanted to go and
relationships
invest in
after spending
that.
the previous
Whatever the case
decade
may be.
ignoring them.
Yeah, when
Their
it first
own
came out, anybody was like,
overconfidence led them
I'm
to
gonna get
think of
that.
themselves as the
You know what I'm
center
saying?
of the video game
It was after the
universe
fact.
when it was beginning to leave them behind. All of this because of their inability to understand the current video game world. But as I said before, I absolutely
When in the
love
video game world, people
GameCube.
were crossover,
For everything the
moving
GameCube
on
got
to
wrong,
games
it
like
got
this.
so
They
many
were still
things
playing
right.
around with like the other
The
other
legacy of the
systems.
Nintendo
It takes
GameCube
some
is
time.
not the same as the image
Zelda,
that it claimed during its run
When
on the
everybody thought
market.
Zelda
In many
was
ways, it
his
has
name,
grown and
and
become
it's
a
not.
beloved
You remember
system
back in the days when
that
they was
was
like,
in part
"Why is
because of
Zelda
the
trying to
GameCube
capture this
that
princess?"
Nintendo changed
Like,
the way
who?
that they marketed
You mean
themselves.
Link?
They became a dominant creative force in the industry that always tried to one-up themselves
But I ain't gonna lie,
as
like,
opposed to any others.
because of
They
that sequence
still
where
have
you
their
could just
problems,
put it on the
especially with
TV,
online play,
take it off,
but
and
they
go with
continue
it.
to
I
push
think
the
that was
industry
gives
forward
the
in new
Nintendo
and creative
upper
ways.
hand.
All
Because I can just
their
put it
little
in,
purple lunchbox.
do whatever I gotta do. I get a call.
Thank
I
you
gotta go
so
somewhere.
much
All right,
for
boom,
watching this
go with
video.
it. I can't do
This
that
is
with
the
my
first
Xbox. I can't do
episode
that
of a
with
multi-part
yeah,
series
remote
dedicated to
play,
the
whatever the case may
analysis
be.
and
But if I don't
critique
have a stable
of the
connection, I
Nintendo
can't use it.
GameCube. Be sure
You know
to
what I'm saying?
subscribe
But now
to
with
catch the next
Xbox, they do
episode
have that
when it comes
sequence,
out
but you
next
still
week.
have to buy the
And share this video on your
backbone or whatever the
favorite
thing
social
called.
media platforms
You put
so I
your
can
phone
continue
and you
to create more content
phone,
like this.
like, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me see the second part.
In 1996, Nintendo released the Nintendo 64 after
Right.
great
That was
anticipation.
that too.
Gamers from around the world
That
lined
too.
up to purchase the latest Nintendo hardware. But at Nintendo headquarters, planning and ideas for their next home console was
They need
already
to invite us.
underway. Development
I'll
for
talk
the
to them.
system began as early
I'll show
as
them a lot of respect,
1997 for
'cause
what
they know
would
what they're
eventually
doing.
be known as the GameCube.
But I feel like they
This
need
is
to bring
the
something back
story of the Nintendo
and like
GameCube.
buff it up.
And in this episode, we'll be taking a look at the history of the system before it became the GameCube. Back when it was known simply as Dolphin. Dolphin was meant to be the most powerful
My
system
God.
ever created. At least, that was Nintendo's goal. The Nintendo 64
I remember
was
back
much
then when they
more
had that
powerful
handle.
than both the PlayStation
Be
1
like,
and
Johnny,
Sega
we have to
Saturn.
go.
Its
Okay.
only real
You just grab
competition in the market.
the handle of the
Nintendo
GameCube. We
hoped
just
to continue their success in that regard.
they had that thing look
while
like a
also
briefcase.
showing up support to avert the failures of the Nintendo 64. Despite its extra
I love that
horsepower,
game,
the
but I was
Nintendo
so tempted
64
to
was
try to get all the
outsold by
stars.
PlayStation 1 by a margin
Like
of
every
3
little
to 1,
piece of the
and
like to finish it
continued
completely.
Nintendo's shrinking
I was tempted
footprint
to
in the
do all of
console
it.
market in regions
To the point
outside
that
of
they
North
remastered
America.
it.
To create the
They
most
remastered it
powerful
and made
game
it
console
into
ever made,
the current
you would need the
current
most powerful
systems.
3D graphics card.
I still
Nintendo
played
had
it,
originally
and
entered talks
it's
with Silicon Graphics.
became way
the same
harder
people behind
in the
the
new
Nintendo
ones.
64 chip. Silicon
But,
Graphics,
hey,
however,
whatever.
would experience some inner turmoil within
look
the
at it,
company.
look
Nintendo shopped around for a manufacturer before settling on ArtX, a startup founded by former Silicon Graphics employees. And to create the CPU,
IBM.
Nintendo would reach out to IBM.
You want to see how nobody
Powerful
talks
home
about
console
IBM?
was important to Nintendo.
Even
as
though
they
we know
wanted
it's
to make
there.
sure the GameCube could outperform
That
the
was
PlayStation
was
2.
it
Nintendo would
Star-
also make the
Star
system
Fox?
easier to develop for,
Star
as
Fox
the
was
Nintendo
there
64
in
was
those in back
notoriously
in the day.
difficult to create games for.
This
Nintendo
Metroid.
president Hiroshi Yamauchi
What other
was
games
very
there was
ambitious
back in
in
the day?
launching the system
That purple-
before
that purple
or around
dragon?
the same time as Sony. Plans were put into place to launch the system as
That
early
purple
as the
dragon,
fall
oh
of
my God.
1999.
You know the
with
one that was
goal
in
being
the
to launch the system before holiday 2000.
Spyro.
Nintendo believed that the constant delays
Oh my
of
God.
the Nintendo 64
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
had given
Yeah,
Sony the
that's my
opportunity
game.
to
You don't even
outsell
need
it.
it.
They were
You don't
adamant
even
about getting the
you
system
don't
out
even
as
bring that
quickly
up,
as
bro.
possible.
The one with the elf
Nintendo's first
with that little
version of their
lizard.
next
I forgot his
generation home
name.
console came at E3
The one that could talk. Jake and
Nintendo of
some.
America chairman
forgot what it's
Howard
called.
Lincoln would reveal to the world
I
just
forgot
enough
what it's
info
called.
to whet fans' appetites. Their
I love
next
that game, by the
system
way.
was
That
known
game
under
too.
the
Oh,
codename
Crash Bandicoot.
Dolphin.
We
It
all
would
know
be
we
more
all play
powerful
Crash.
and
If you have
cheaper
not
than the
played Crash
PlayStation
Bandicoot,
2.
I don't know what you're doing
And
with your
more
life.
importantly,
To the point that they
would not
remastered it and made it
run
high
on
quality.
ROM-based cartridges.
That was my
Fans cheered.
game right there.
Lincoln,
No matter
however,
where I went,
wouldn't
if I didn't
mention
play
what the
Crash
system
Bandicoot,
would
I'm not leaving the
use
house.
to play its game.
I gotta go over there and crash boxes so I
In
can
May
grab
of
these mangoes.
1999, it was reported that four
It was
development
that one,
studios had
Crash,
received development
Ratchet
kits
and Link.
for Dolphin.
Yeah,
Nintendo's
that one.
EAD studio, Nintendo
There's
of
another
America's NST studio,
That was a very
second-party
popular
developer
game back in the
Rare,
days.
and the relatively
Now these
unknown
days, people don't
Retro
play those type of
Studios
games.
were all at work
They wanna play
creating
high-quality
software for the
games.
system. Unfortunately, Nintendo had a hard
Oh,
time
I remember
creating
this
enough
too.
development kits. To make matters worse, third parties were generally the last to receive these development kits.
Yeah,
By
it's on the
time of
Switch
Game
now.
Developers Conference in 2000,
It's on the Switch
most
now. I have
developers
it
were
on the
hard at work
Switch.
making PlayStation 2 and Xbox games. Few had Dolphin games in development.
Yeah, I have it.
This was in part due to the lack
I have
of
the
development
little
kits. Nintendo
the
suggested
membership.
that developers make their games with the specs
Nintendo
of the
membership.
highest end PCs in mind. Third-party developers were not amused. Company spokesman Hiroshi Imanishi would make matters worse in an interview with Next Gen magazine in December of 2000. He said, "We are not approaching
Went down the wrong
third
pipe.
parties and asking them to develop software for Nintendo. If they would like to make GameCube software,
Not everything
it's
wants to
fine,
have
but
memberships,
we will
like
never demand them to make games
Game
for GameCube."
Pass.
Nintendo's mindset was always to
PlayStation-
beef up their own
I
systems
don't know what's going on with
library,
PlayStation, but
and then
PlayStation
have
they
third
trying to
parties
they
come
trying
once
real
they've sold
hard,
enough units.
real hard to take
While
everybody
staking
money.
had worked in the
They
past,
had
it didn't apply as well in
PlayStation
the modern
Plus,
landscape. Third parties
and
often
where you
felt
could get like the free
second
games, you
fiddles
just pay
when it came
membership.
to working with
Now they
Nintendo,
trying to
while
now
Sony
they
and
trying to
Microsoft
combine it
would
and
treat them
get
far better.
the membership. Now
Nintendo
you could
didn't
get the
like
other games
multi-platform
that
games either.
it basically was
They
two
claimed that it
services
diminished the
where you
value
get
of
the other
game
games where you
systems when
get
they all
free
had
games
the
every
same
month.
games. They were
And then
more
the other
interested
one
in
you
having
pay, it was
quality
like PSN
exclusives
Now.
than
And
yet
then
another
you
version
know
of
which one I'm talking about.
third-party
It's
content.
PSN Now. I heard they combining
This,
both of
Nintendo
them.
claimed, was what made
combined
them
both of them
and
for
their
one.
products
One little
different.
thing.
They emphasized quality over quantity, and in a lot of ways, it's a respectable
When before I
approach.
used to pay 50,
Business-wise, however,
right?
it
I used to
only
pay
hurt
like
them.
50 or 60,
Because
now it's
third
70.
parties left to
50,
form
yeah,
closer
50 or 60 tops.
relationships
Now I'm paying
with other
70.
console manufacturers.
Not games that
Nintendo
I used to
began
pay
hyping up Dolphin as
$90.
soon as it
I'm
was
paying
announced,
$100 for.
but gave few details on the
2K.
system itself. Nintendo claimed it was
Now I'm
holding
paying
information
$100
due
for
to
it.
the revisions the company was
what
constantly
reason?
making. Developers
Make it
and
make sense.
publishers were unimpressed.
Y'all the one that got money,
Dolphin would
not
miss
me.
its holiday 2000 release, and it would once again see Nintendo being the last to launch a home console
Wave
in
Race
the
is
market.
coming on there.
Nintendo would
Wave
claim that there
Race.
just wasn't enough software to launch the system.
I need to keep track
Instead,
of
they
Nintendo
encouraged
because I
players
haven't
to
been
purchase
keeping track of
more
their
Nintendo
games. To be honest
64
with you,
games, and that the
I have
Dolphin
not been
would
keeping
launch
track.
in 2001. Nintendo had created an interesting controller when crafting the Nintendo 64.
you know when I first got
Its
that, I
streamlined
never knew how to
design
hold it.
was
Like I was
unusual, but
like,
its
how am
analog
I
stick
supposed to
was
like
revolutionary in the
supposed
video
to hold
game
like?
world. For Dolphin, Nintendo
never knew how
wanted
to play that,
completely
like how to
reinvent their
hold
controller
onto it.
and create one that was not only comfortable but easy to use for everyone. Shigeru Miyamoto wanted to perfect the controller on Dolphin and claims to have spent more time on its controller than any other Nintendo system. Miyamoto
I'm playing
and his team would work for
Switch
over
Sports
3
right
years
now.
on
Is
the
it good?
controller.
Because
The
like there's some
controller
games
would
on
go
the
on to
Switch
become
that
the
I'm
Nintendo
hesitant to
mainstay
take,
for
like
3
to
generations of
purchase
gaming.
because I hate what I would
During
purchase
the
it and then I would never
1990s,
play it.
Nintendo
No, I just
held
bought
an
it for no
annual
reason.
event known as Space World.
So is it good?
Space World 2000 would be when Nintendo officially revealed that Dolphin had become the GameCube. Nintendo would present
There
a
was some other
highlight
games
reel
too.
for upcoming titles for the
Back
Dolphin.
in the days, what they had.
While not every game made it out of the gate,
know
none
why they keep
stood out
showing that.
more than a teaser for the Legend
You know
of
how many
Zelda
games
series.
they have out there?
Nintendo would showcase an older Link fighting Ganondorf in a dark
You know
and
what game
ominous
that I used to play
location.
all the time?
Fans
There's not
went
one
wild
person
for
I've
the
heard
teaser and
that
eagerly awaited more
Me
information.
and I have
down the
that.
road.
If I heard everybody
Most
says that they
notable
have
game at
not
the
played
event,
Midnight
however,
Club,
was
I don't
Mario
know.
128,
Have you played Midnight
a
Club?
prototype that Shigeru Miyamoto had been working on with his team at Nintendo EAD. The title
It
was
said,
meant to
yes,
showcase
golf
the
is
power
coming
of the
soon.
GameCube.
Really?
They showcased changing
Because I love
platforms, as
playing
well as
the
128
sports on the
different characters
Switch.
occupying the
I
screen
really
at
do
once.
love playing it on the Switch.
title would
But
never
I was
be officially
hesitant if I should
released,
to get it
but
or
its
not.
concepts would be carried over into later titles, such as Pikmin and Super Mario Galaxy.
But I should.
Nintendo
I got that
didn't
new
just
Mario though.
experiment with
The one with
software
the
on
I think they're playing
GameCube.
soccer.
Early design
Strikers, Mario
concepts
Strikers
showed
or something like
multiple
that.
ideas that Nintendo
I got.
would
I'm
later
trying to
revisit
get that.
for future consoles. While Miyamoto and his team worked hard
what
on
else
the
did you?
GameCube's controller,
What's
Factor
this one?
5
Oh, yeah, Midnight
reportedly
Club.
received early prototypes
That was the game
of
right
a
there.
controller with
I would
motion
play that at the
controls.
laundromat.
Nintendo
and somebody
go
would try to
further and
connect,
file
like,
patents in the United
Are you
States
sure you
in
want to connect?
September of
And they would never
2001
connect. I was like, you
for
know what? I'll just play by
prototypes from a
myself.
company called Gyration.
I'll just
The
play by
GameCube
myself.
would never
Gyration.
use
What's
motion
this?
controls, but Nintendo continued to explore the concept during the system's run. In 2003, Nintendo would file patents regarding tilt controls, featuring both a Nintendo GameCube controller as well as the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, the tennis.
These
This is
tilt
tennis.
and gyration controls would
Oh,
eventually
okay, I
become
see
a
what-
staple in
That was
Nintendo
fun. I ain't gonna
systems
cap.
when
That
they
was
launched
fun.
The Nintendo Wii.
I played that.
Nintendo even worked on creating stereoscopic
This had to be
3D
like,
with the
yo,
Nintendo
I
GameCube.
had that.
In
And my ass over there
2010,
playing Cookie
then
Mama,
Nintendo President
playing
Satoru Iwata
these
stated,
damn puppy games. Now I
GameCube
was
is
I was
secretly designed
young,
to load
so
graphical
I was playing these
circuits,
puppy
which
games.
display graphics
And
from
when I
light
would come
and
back, my
left
dog would either
respectively
die or
for a
disappear.
future possibility of
And
realizing
when I would come
3D
back,
gaming
Cookie Mama had
experience.
already had
Nintendo
multiple
had
other
abandoned
games.
the concept concept on the GameCube, but would revitalize it with their successful
Yeah,
Nintendo 3DS
that.
line in 2011 after the success of 3D blockbuster films. there could be even more secrets to the GameCube's development
Yeah, the
that
game's
we
just
still
dead.
don't know about. After all, we didn't find out about the GameCube's 3D capabilities until years after it was discontinued. Since the GameCube was delayed into 2001, Nintendo would once again be behind Sony.
There were a whole bunch of
The
games that you
Nintendo
could play on
64
that.
was tasked with holding fans over in the meantime. Due to the GameCube and the Game Boy
What is it,
Advance, Nintendo's
Castlevania?
latest handheld console, software was stretched
Castlevania,
thin
where you
across
would
all
finish the
Nintendo
game and it would be like,
platforms.
congratulations.
Nintendo would only
And it'd be
release
like a
handful
typo.
of Nintendo 64 games in 2001. The last Nintendo 64 title developed by Nintendo would be Mario Party 3,
Oh, I
when it released in
fucking
May
love
of 2001
Mario
in
Party.
North
That's
America.
not
Over 6 months
a
before the
Mario Party
Nintendo
that I
GameCube
have not
launched.
gotten. I've gotten
At
every
E3
single one.
2001,
Every
Nintendo
single one,
dedicated
bro.
Their press conference
And
entirely
they'd be
to the
all
Nintendo
almost all the
GameCube,
same, but
revealing the launch
it add
date,
more.
launch price,
It add more
and the
different
software
levels,
hitting the
not
system
levels.
on day one. The GameCube
Different
would
different
first launch
concepts in it,
Japan
of course,
September.
but it's the same
The
thing.
United
Like,
States
you
would
know,
see the
roll the
system on
dice,
November
do your
5th,
thing.
with the rest of the world receiving it in 2002. The Nintendo GameCube was priced at $199.99.
Those were
$100
those
less
were the
than
good
both
times.
the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox.
I didn't get it for those prices. I just went to Goodwill when they had the handy downs. They had them over there.
Exclusives for the system.
I didn't pay for that
one
price.
major icon was missing.
It was like $64.
Mario, the mascot of Nintendo, would not have
Yep,
a new
Mario
title available
64.
on the system when it launched. In his place would be his brother, Luigi, in his first solo outing, Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi Mansion.
With roughly 6
I
months
have
between
Luigi
E3
Mansion right
and
now.
the launch of the
The
GameCube,
newest
there
one.
was one final event to hype the system up.
You ain't never
Space
played.
World 2001.
You ain't
It
never
was the
played
perfect
Mario when he was
opportunity to
the
showcase
doctor
to the
and he was
world
giving those
what the
pills.
future of Nintendo's
Like you would
latest
have to
system
move
would
the
have.
thing. It was like
While Mario
it was
would
like
be missing
Tetris.
the launch of the GameCube, a
What?
brand new Super Mario title was
You never
revealed.
played. I think you
Super
did.
Mario Sunshine.
I may be wrong about the Tetris part.
Alongside it, the next chapter in the
But it's
Legend
like
of Zelda
pills.
series would be shown. Critical first
What?
impressions for both titles would
I
be
don't know.
strong, but Zelda fans
I
were
don't know.
not happy with the new
You play
art
all
style
these
the
old
series
games and
was
you never
taking.
played that.
A year
When he's
after
in
the
a,
now
he's like a
famous
doctor
tech
and
demo
he's
for
playing with
Zelda,
this little.
this new title
thing.
featured
But you've seen
cel-shaded
Tetris.
graphics
I know
in
you've
a
seen
lighter
Tetris.
tone. It would hurt Nintendo's image and further
Am I saying it
solidify
right?
the kitty
Tetris.
concept.
Taurus?
The GameCube was
Online. You can
originally
play
slated to
online
come out
on
on
Luigi
November
Mansion
5th.
3. I
but
can
it
play
was delayed
online.
briefly in North America to November.
I played by
18th.
myself and I
Nintendo
finished
said
it,
that
but
this was
I
to
didn't know I could
increase
play
the total
online.
number of available units. Unfortunately,
Mario
this would
Karts?
put
Yeah,
the
I have Mario
GameCube's
Karts.
launch 3 days behind the Xbox, making Nintendo the last one to
I
the
have Mario
party
Karts.
once again.
Mm.
Thank you for watching this video. This is part 2 of a multi-part series about the
She was
story
right
of the
here.
Nintendo.
See, yeah, Castlevania. Yeah, I know about Splinter Cell. Oh, that's what it was called. Super Monkey Ball. That was what it's called. The one where they were rolling in the thing. That one. You never played that one. That game. Have you played that game? That's called. I think it's called Apes. Where the boy's chasing down all these monkeys. It has to capture them. I think that's what the game called. Apes. I might be wrong. Don't listen to me. I might be wrong, to be honest. I might be wrong.
Oh my, oh gee, oh good golly goodness, Illy Nation, have I got the news for yous. Animal Crossing brought us Nintendogs. Not really. Technically, it's Puppy Plushie, but boy do they take me back. Will there ever truly be a more pure and simpler video game concept than get puppy, feed puppy, love puppy?
Is that your friend
and
called?
all without parents buying real puppy. And guess what
Yeah,
else? It
that's
stays
what-
puppy. So
Yeah.
why buy an animal in real life as if it's a toy
Well, you can have it
when
digital.
you can spend just about the same amount of money, if not less overall, on Dog Simulator, the video game? All I'm saying is, if you can, do what my parents did. I stopped asking for a real dog for like a month at least. And that month was a peaceful time for my parents. Well,
Okay,
kinda.
I got you. I'm gonna put
When
it on. I'm gonna
Nintendogs
put it on.
hit the
Let me
market,
actually
I brought
copy
my
it.
DS in the car with
So
me
I
to
don't
GameStop so
forget
I
it.
could play the game
Me
immediately
copy it
on the
real
way
quick.
home. And once acquired, I adopted a gray and white husky, and I named her Winter. I thought that was very
What?
original,
A
very creative. But
husky?
you
I
know
didn't
what
even
the
get a
biggest selling
husky.
point was about
I had
this
like
DS and Nintendogs especially.
Oh,
The
fuck, what did
Nintendo
I
DS
get?
had a microphone, and with Nintendo,
Golden
you
Retriever.
could interact with
I
your
had gotten the
dogs
Golden
using your
Retriever
real
my
voice,
first time.
like it's a real dog, which was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Be like,
for literally
you could
just
teach
you
her like
and annoying
tricks.
for everyone else.
You be like, do the stuff and be like, roll over, roll
Winter,
over.
Winter.
Yeah, God, very late.
Winter. Bliss. So by the time we got home, it became a rule that I had to play that game quietly or only in my room, alone. But that was okay.
It did get a little lonely though, since this was the only game I had, and if my friends wanted to play it, they had to buy their own. It makes me wish there was a game I could play for free with my friends. Which is why this video is sponsored by Genshin Impact, an open-world RPG game available on PC,
That game didn't. That game
Android,
wasn't even
iOS,
here
and PlayStation 4
when
and
those
5.
was
Your
dogs
magical
came.
adventure begins
Dog's
in the
Life,
world of
whatever. This was
Teyvat,
just a
where
quick
7
ad she
kinds of
put in.
element complete with unique challenges and like back to the toy store and the accessory store. She would stumble across presents, so we got
Yeah,
free stuff.
They
Like
would have
pets
like
and
presents you
toys.
could pick
Oh,
up,
and then
and
you
then
could go to the park and play fetch. I remember
do
we
all that
always used
stuff,
a
and
blue
you also have to
frisbee as
pull
a,
them
you
from
know,
the trash.
that
Like
one was your
if they're
favorite.
getting too
And
close to
then
the
I saw that
trash,
I
they
could
might
enter
eat and
Winter
get
into a
sick. So
frisbee
you have to like
competition, and I
yank
could
on
win
them,
coins, and I could make
whatever, or
bank,
you'll
and
meet up
I
like
can buy
with
different
people
room
online.
interiors inspired by various achievements in
But I
architecture
tell you,
and
it gets
design.
boring
Did these
at the
developers take a
end.
cross section to my child brain and see cartoon
I bought
quadruped land
the
on one
moon.
side and my love of the
You could
structure
buy
of sound
locations,
triangle on
and
the
I
other?
bought
Finally,
the
some
moon that
delicious
was
fucking food.
millions of
Also,
dollars
the
I had to
announcers
save
for these
up
competitions
by
were
sending my dog
legitimately
into
hilarious,
competitions, and I was
I
able
totally
to purchase
see why
it.
people ship them today.
The moon.
That completely went over my head as a kid, but I ship it. So yeah, I
They
had
all
Winter, we were
fight.
making bank,
It's a
and
game
sooner
for
or later,
kids.
I unlocked a slot for a second dog. So I got
You
a
just get
beagle, and I
puppies.
named her Molly. Since
I had,
Winter
like-
was sweeping the
I think
competition
I had
with
like
fetch, I focused on
5.
agility with Molly. It wasn't my favorite though because it was so repetitive, and I know
Yeah,
what's more
that was
repetitive
so
than chucking a
boring.
disc over and over. Well,
That was
all
so
these sticks
boring.
and ramps and jumps and slide and tap and hold and it's moving in 3D and sometimes it clips and flips and whatever.
Yep.
Second place. Good job, Molly. Oh, gross! You stink.
Shower.
Wait, that's so cool.
You could bathe
Again,
them.
it was like having a real dog. You got to give them baths. And oh my gosh, if you liked giving Nintendogs baths as a kid, then you might have grown to enjoy ASMR as an adult, because that's what this minigame was. It almost feels sacrilegious to just call it a minigame, because bath time was an experience. It was so slice of life and homey and laid back.
Yeah, that
Like,
basically
don't get
was
me wrong,
me.
I love picking Pikachu Party Hat and slamming down B in Super Smash Bros. But I also love to give Puppy bath. There's just nothing like it. But of course,
Go to the store
if real
too and
puppy
buy
you
like a whole
desire,
bunch of
real
stuff,
puppy you shall receive.
like collar.
I think
and
everyone has
stuff.
experienced the anvil of guilt opening their DS to find your puppies are famished and parched when they should be full and
Yeah,
clenched.
when I came back, my dog was like thirsty,
What is
needed a
the mess
bath,
here?
and one of my dogs ran away.
What the? Winter?
Yeah, he ran off.
Winter! This scared me so bad, I cried. I cried real tears, because it felt like I lost a real dog. I felt so
I
ashamed.
feel like she's going
I
into
should've
my
played with
life.
her more.
Like
I should have
that's
been there.
basically what I
I should have
did.
listened. Frisbee was never
Why?
your dream, Winter.
What
It was
was
mine. What? Winter?
Yeah, come back.
Winter, you came home. Winter, I promise I'll be the best dog keeper in the whole wide world. We
You
don't
did it
have
on
to
purpose.
do Frisbee anymore. I'll bake you your favorite treats. Do you like peanut butter? Cause I like peanut. I can make you a snack.
Look at that.
I'm so sorry. I became a diligent virtual dog owner from there on. Fed the puppies on time every day after school, took them each on the longest walks they could muster, bought them the snazziest outfits, treated them to the treatiest of treats, and gave them all the belly scratches I could reach. And finally, the third and final dog slot opened
Yep.
up, and I did not know what dog to get. I think I decided
You
on
could
a
put the
German
dogs
Shepherd,
in like
but
dog hotels.
could've
I
been
had
a
a whole bunch
Shih
of
Tzu.
dogs, and I just
don't
left them in the
remember.
hotel.
All I remember
And I would
is
swap
I knew
them
this
every
third
week.
dog would be in obedience trials, because that's the only track I hadn't done
Yeah.
yet. So I adopted
I was
dog
great
number
with
3,
dogs,
and I don't remember
I'm
what I
doing now.
named it, but let's just pretend it was named Buzzkill, because with this dog around, the fun didn't last very long. For obedience trials, you had to teach your dog tricks
Yep,
using your real voice.
yep.
You had to sit there.
My dog did not
and
want to
go,
listen.
Sit. Sit.
It didn't understand it.
Sit for hours. At this point, even I got sick of it. So I retired Buzzkill and just let Winter and Molly be the breadwinners. I figured Buzzkill could just be more of a companion dog, but then that got boring too. Because at this point, I had pretty much explored the entire game. Unlocked all the items, met all the neighbors. I even got the outer space house. There was nothing left for me to do except
That's my life, y'all.
adopt another dog? Just to feel something? And of course, that went nowhere. I did reset once or twice just to
Okay, we
max
got
out
you.
Winter and Molly all over again, you know, for the sake of milking out every last molecule of serotonin I could from this puppy game before asking my dad if I can get another version, to which, of course, he said no. So eventually, I dropped it, and soon graduated from Nintendog Trainer to Pokemon Trainer. But still, Nintendogs was monumental. We loved Puppy Game! Life was so simple back then. Get puppy, feed puppy, love puppy.
Mm-hmm.
I have no regrets. Can't say the same for my dad, though. So anyway, thank you for watching my videos. Go feed your Nintendogs because it's been about 10 years. And as always, stay safe.
My dogs are gone. I can't even play it on it because
Hello,
I don't
thank
even
you
have.
for coming to
I
the
don't even
fan
have those
card.
things
If you're watching
anymore.
this video, it's about to be my birthday, September 15. If you want to get me something for my birthday,
I don't even I don't even get that.
Hey guys,
bro.
welcome back to Crispy Tech Tips. Today
Oh,
in
now
this
we're
video, we're
doing
going to be looking
phones,
through a
y'all.
couple of my old devices from
What was your
years
first
ago.
one that
I
you
found
got?
all these in a box in my closet right before I moved, and I decided it would be a great video to just go
Yes,
through
you can.
all of
Think
these
hard.
and see what's on them.
Think
Like, is
hard.
this not the greatest video
Hurry
idea
up.
you've ever seen? Let's look at here. This is my first ever phone. This is the LG Voyager. As you can see, it's got a little
Ew.
brokenness to it, but we'll get to this one later in the video. Let's just start with a couple of these older iPhones. Oh my god, this one just fell out.
He went from
begging
that
to be
phone
picked
to a
first,
big
so
old
I guess This
iPhone?
is the first
I
one we're gonna
wish
go
I
with.
had
think
that.
This is an iPhone.
didn't do
I
that.
have no
I
idea.
had-
I'm gonna guess 7. As
I
you
had
can see, most of
a
these screens are pretty
flip
much
phone,
shattered. That's
a
why I
pink
end up getting a new
flip
phone.
phone,
Here's my current
and
phone.
I kept
Thankfully,
it
we have no
until
shatters besides from the back. It is
2013.
completely busted on the back, but I don't care about the back. Just about the
2013,
front. Here is
2014.
the first thing
Then
we're
I
rocking with.
switched
Let's turn it
to
on.
an LG.
I charge all these to like
An
3%
LG
just so
Stylo.
we can get a quick
I remember
sneak
vividly
peek of what's on
because
them. As you
that
can see,
AG
there's no
Stylo
home
didn't
button on
last
this one, so
long
we
because
might
my
not get
dumb ass went
far.
inside of
See if we can
water and it
unlock
was in my
without the
pocket.
home button. Or if it
And
even
the
turns
water
on.
was
Let's see.
up
I like
to
how the
like
launch
here,
screen is
and I was
reversed,
like,
on the modern phone. At
and
least
I was
the
like,
phone
go
have,
get my
it's
phone,
black
go get
here
my
and white
phone.
here.
And I'm like,
It's cool to kind of
the
see it
phone
in
is-
reverse.
So the phone
Waiting.
was in the water for like
Waiting.
hours and end.
Waiting. There we go. Oh, enter
So-
passcode. Okay, I probably got
That
like
was it.
a
And then I bought
1,
another
9. No.
LG Stylo
Shoot,
because I really
don't-
liked
probably
it.
got like a 2,
And
5.
I literally
Is that
got
going
an
on? No, I
iPhone
do
when
not.
you met me.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe I did 4 corners. No,
Hi.
iPhone is disabled. Okay. I don't
see,
think I'm
when
gonna
I was-
get
I
that.
was
Let me
taking phones
take
for
this
you,
next minute to really
right?
think
When
on
I
what
was taking
this
phones
passcode
for you,
could be. We'll do one
that you
more
never
guess, and
thanked
that's
me
probably gonna
for?
lock it for another 10 minutes. Let's see. Oh my god.
I was stealing.
The lock screen is my ex-girlfriend.
I was stealing
Dude, that
iPhones
is
for
so
you.
funny. This phone is cursed, and it says,
Right?
what does it say?
I
Unable
got
to
one for
activate
myself
Touch
as
ID.
well.
Yeah, I wonder
And that was
why.
the first
Oh, yeah,
iPhone
there's
I
no
had,
way
and it was an
can even
iPhone
unlock.
7 Plus.
I can't even try again.
And then you had an
if I
iPhone
wanted
7
to.
Plus.
Yeah, it looks like we're not going to be able to get
And then
into
I didn't
that
give
one.
you
We got
any
a
other
couple more
phones
to go
after
through,
that.
so
I
let's move
should
on.
have gave you
This is
another
the
one.
next one. And this is a more recent one. As
And
you
you
can
still
see, we
have
have an
it.
Astro World lock screen.
But
I should be able
that
to
was
think of
it,
this
and now
passcode
I'm up
pretty
to an
effortlessly. This should be
iPhone
it right here. Yes,
11.
sir. All right,
Sounds
cool.
good,
So this
as
is...
long as it's still working. I'm still
Whoa,
Yeah.
my mom texted me 785 days ago. So I wonder why I got rid of this phone, because this phone isn't really busted.
That's an iPhone
This
8.
is not too old of a phone. We probably should have started with this one. As you can see, we got all the essentials. We got Fortnite, Tinder, Bloons Tower Defense. I guess let's go through the photos. I'm going to just quickly go off screen really quick and just see what we got. Oh, wow, this is not old at all. For reference, this is one of the last photos on this phone, and it's from October 9th, 2018. What is that blinking? Do you see that? What the heck? Maybe that's why I got rid of this phone, because it's hacked. All the stuff that's on here is on my phone currently. So there's really nothing too exciting with this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I'm
the
glad I
iPhone
got
8.
it to work, unlike the other one, but let's move
it
on
got that
to the next
glass in the
phone.
back.
So next we have, oh boy. So this
I used
is
to work
actually
with
newer
phones, like, I
than
used
this.
to-
And it's not
He
even
can even
that
tell
exciting.
you,
I don't even
we
think
used to
I
work
can
with
unlock it.
phones.
Yeah. What happened is I
Ship
dropped
out
this phone and I got like
phones,
the
reset
I don't even
phones,
know.
so
The
we
Xbox
know phones.
360 Red Ring
Mostly
and Death
iPhones.
equivalent of the iPhone, because this is just on my screen and I can't even swipe up. I can't even unlock the damn
How
phone.
did you
Can't-
even
there's
get
no
that?
yeah, I can't do it. So this phone is just not unlockable. That's a pretty cool picture I took though. Wouldn't be too much exciting on this phone anyways. So let's move on. Let's look at this real quick. Before we get any further, we got this right here. This is a Kindle that I had and I
Yeah.
maybe used it once. Swipe to unlock. Okay, no password.
Oh my
that's
God,
great.
he has a Kindle.
And I am not
I never had a
seeing
Kindle. I always
any-
wanted
I
one,
don't think I
but
even have a single book.
Every time I search
game
for
or
it, it'd be like,
anything
oh,
based on your
you want to
browsing
read
history,
books? I'm like,
Pokemon's
no,
little
I just
rare soft
want an iPad. Like,
We got one more iPhone to go through, and this one is super
one that is?
old.
That's
I
a
remember
button? Let me
this
see.
background, the pineapples. We're gonna have the same issue of
he has a
me
button.
not knowing
That's an
what
iPhone
this
7.
passcode is. It could
that's iPhone 7
be the.
Plus.
Oh, it is.
But it could
Whoa.
be a 6 too.
Okay, so this is a very old phone. Look at the old Uber Eats logo. Bro, Casey Neistat's at Beam. Who remembers that? Super Mario Run? That was fun for like a day. Let's take a look at the photos on this one and see if they're any
He
different.
broke all
I'm
his
gonna quickly go off
screens.
screen again.
There was not a
The
phone that I
last
broke
picture
a screen
have
of.
on this
Like, I
phone-
never
so this is the
had
last
a
picture I
damaged
have on this
phone.
phone, and it's from
Never.
July
I had a phone that,
15th,
like, literally
2018.
just
So
went in
maybe
the
I had
water,
two
and that's
phones
about
in
it.
that year. I
But
thought
I
this
took too
phone
long
was
to put it in
older, actually.
rice.
But you know what? We got
But
older
that's
phones,
about
other
it.
stuff to go through. You might have seen this though. I want to go through this first. This is my ancient Nintendo DS. I mean, it still looks like it functions. The problem is with this is I do not have the charger. It does not turn on. I looked
Okay, so
everywhere
it
for a
doesn't
charger. I
function.
could not find one. So what I wanted to do is take the game out. See this? Classic Fire Red's
And
a
it's
little
in
bit
mint
better, but we got
condition.
the leaf green as well. And then in here, Nintendo. So I want to go through both of those real fast on my DS Lite that I do have the charger for. I actually kind of want to make a video. I mean, I could make a full dedicated video for both of these because, oh wait.
No, what are you?
This,
wha-
oh wait,
dude.
does that just not go in fully? Yeah, okay, you can start the GBA game and you can start Nintendogs. Okay, so maybe, okay, here's my proposition for y'all. I don't want to
Looked
check
like
on
he
my
was about to force
Nintendogs
that
because
thing
I
all the
feel
way
like they're just
in.
going to be dead laying there. So I think that would be a funny ass video though, like checking on my Nintendogs first time after 10 years. So I'm not even going to touch that, but drop a like right now if you want to see that. In the meantime, let's look at what I named my Pokemon when I was like 10 years old. I feel like there's some violent names.
Look,
that
he's
are
already
about to
rushing the
witness.
game to load
Oh,
up.
the throwback. Listen to this. How do I turn it up? Man, if you didn't play these games, you did not have a childhood, and I'm sorry about that. Let's just look at my bank real quick and see. Let's just see what I named these guys. If you didn't know, here, I'm gonna turn this down. Pokemon is a rename feature where you can rename your Pokemon, and I just want to see what we named some of them. This is called Competition. Oh, what this was. Okay, so we're about to get some demonetization inbound. I had a competition with my friends in like elementary school where we would catch the most Pokemon and name them just the most awful things ever. So for example, masturbate. Okay, not too bad. Number 2. Oh my god. I don't even think I can show any more of these. Skipping over it, we got ball sack. Okay, not too bad. Cube. I'll just let you guys read if you want, because I don't even want to say some of these out loud. That one's not too bad. Dude, keep in mind, I was literally like 10 years old in naming them this. This is really bad. I don't want to, you know,
Yeah, that's
show
what
any
it's
more
that
of this,
hard.
but you
Yeah,
know what?
herpes.
Maybe we'll do a full video on that, but definitely the Nintendogs. Like I said, drop a like if you want to
Did
see
he just take that out
what my
without closing it?
Nintendogs are up to after 10
Wow.
years. Haven't touched it in over 10. It's got to have been like 12 years, but the moment you've all been
I don't know
waiting
what
for,
store
the
that's
reason you
close
probably
by
clicked
that-
on this
that
video,
still
the
sells
reason
those.
I'm excited to film this video, legitimately have not looked at this phone in, who knows? It has been a very, very,
I
very
had a
long
phone
time. I would
like
say
that
over
at
10
the
years.
job
The
at
LG
GE.
Voyager, my first ever
And
cell phone.
we would collect
First
a whole
ever
bunch
cell
of them
phone. I
like
remember
that to
wanting this
just
so
recycle- like,
bad.
just
Because look how
recycle
cool
them.
it is. It like flips
And
up. It's a little
mind
broken
you,
now.
these were work
Yeah, as you can
phones.
see, it just snaps right,
right?
off. Let's not
These were,
completely break it before we get into this. I found this phone and it
work
wouldn't turn
phones
on,
from
and I
other
couldn't
people
find the
from
charger
within the
anywhere.
company.
I bought like 5 different
And
chargers.
literally,
I finally
they would
found
still
one
be
that would
on,
fit
and they
this
had no
weird-ass
pass
phone.
lock. So we
And
would
guess
go
what?
through the messages.
I charged it,
Like,
baby.
me and this other guy,
Haven't
we
even
just go
turned
through
it
the
on yet.
messages
Look
just to
at
see if
that.
there's any
It
kinky
still
stuff.
works.
And
the phone still works. I'm excited
we
to
literally
look
found
at
this
what
guy
is on
who's
my
literally
first
talking
ever
to
cell phone.
his
As you can see,
coworker,
you can open
right?
it and it
We
just
know his coworker
switches the
because he
screen.
put it as
This is
like,
cool.
you know, whatever
I
the case may
wonder
be,
why
and
they
they were
ever got rid
messaging.
of this.
And
I mean, I guess for more simplicity,
literally,
you
the
don't need
stuff
two
that this
screens, just
man
need
was
one.
writing
I
this
think I took this
woman
picture. This is
was
my lock
like,
screen.
oh, I want to
It's
suck your
Yankee
toes,
Stadium.
like
I
something
believe
like,
took
yo,
that
I was
picture.
like,
So there is a camera on
whoa,
this phone. We're
you
gonna
wanna do
see
what
some
now? Like, I was
cringe
just like,
photos for
who is
sure.
this man?
For sure.
Mind
No
you,
lock screen. Let's
when they
go.
sent in like their
October
phones, they
31st,
have to
once
send
again,
in like
today's
their
my birthday. Wish
badge,
me happy
their
birthday if you haven't, or else I'm gonna cry.
their
I don't even know how to
laptops, whatever
navigate
things
this
that they have when
weird
they're
menu, but let's
being
go to media
terminated or
center,
when they're
contact-
leaving.
wait, messaging.
And he
Let's
was
go to
just
my
writing
text
this lady
first,
back
'cause
and
I remember
forth, and this
this
lady's
is the
like, oh, I
phone
have
that
a
texted
I have a
my- I had
husband.
a girlfriend.
And what the case may be, but we could meet up at this
sixth
time.
grade,
This
maybe
time.
fifth
I was like,
grade. I had a girlfriend for
oh,
like
I'll be
2
the one
days.
with the
I
red
remember
dress. yes. I
on the
was
street
like,
texting her on this
wow.
phone. We dated for 2 days.
And
met her
they
at a
had like
party.
some other
She
messages
asked
that I
me out
can't
the
talk
next
online
day,
about
and
of what they did.
then, we dated for 2
And
days.
they
I was
also
like,
had
I can't do
pictures.
this. I don't like you.
Like some
So that was my
some
first
kinky
relationship. Let's just
stuff
see
like they had on
inbox.
that phone.
No messages.
And
Oh,
mind you, this man was
everything.
old.
Right.
Like he was like
All
65
long
years old.
distance. Yeah, there we
And
go. Mom.
I was
My
like
cousin
texting this
Amanda a couple
woman that
times.
was
I
like
have
in
no
her like
idea
what
who
20s or
Nick G
something.
is.
I was
have
just like,
zero
whoa,
idea.
whoa.
Or who's that?
And
Who are
those
these
are
people?
times that he was
Apparently I called
working.
myself on
So
August
we have to
25th. Wait,
report
what
like
year is
who was
this? Can we
what was
see
on the
what year?
messages, right? And they were
2009.
asking us, this like what was on
yeah,
the phone,
if we
what
do
the
the math,
messages
this
were.
is
Were they
11
providing
years
data to
old.
outsource
Oh
company
my
people?
God,
I was like,
that is
nah, he was just being a
insane.
whore.
11 years.
Like,
Look at, I think the pictures.
both of them were just being a whore. Like that's about it. And they're like, oh, we don't need that. I was just like, of course not.
Yo. First, let's go to music
So,
tones. Let's just see if there's anything on here. My ringtone.
that's my little story.
Oh my God! I used to torrent these little songs. I knew how to like get them into.
You had
ringtone
those on your
format.
phone,
Oh,
like
the-
in
the
old
speakers
phones?
busted.
'Cause you
I
can't
think the
remember what phone
speakers
you had.
busted. We
You
got
never
Real
had
World,
these
Day and Night by
ringtones
Kid Cudi,
that
Welcome
you
to
would
Heartbreak
download?
by Kanye West. Turn my swag on by Soulja Boy. That should be the new national anthem. I've been saying this. I've been saying it. The speakers definitely
what
busted.
ringtones
Like,
you
never
had?
went through this better. Oh my God! I hate when you close it. It just this is the flaw with that phone. If you wanted to switch between screens. Wait, what was that? What the heck was I? What was I? A Tampa Bay Rays fan? Pictures and video. Get new pictures. My pictures, my videos. Okay, so first let's
You
go to
remember?
videos. Since there's no sound, like none of these are gonna be exciting. But let's go to videos and see. Oh my God, there's so many. Oh my God, there's so many. Okay, I think we gotta go through this screen.
You had a Nokia? I had a Nokia.
Not
I had a Nokia.
Not
This is,
Nokia.
Yankee
I had a
Stadium,
Nokia.
it
I
looks
just
like.
remembered.
Oh my
I
God,
had
look how
the flip
stuffed
phone,
this
then the
is, man.
Nokia.
This
You
is
know
like
the
an
Nokia
Android
with
before
the
an Android.
tiles
Look at that quality.
that looks like the Windows tiles from
this is me,
Microsoft? I had that. And that was the
hitting balls.
only
Oh my
phone that was giving me a
this
lot
is
of
lost-
troubles.
lost
Because
footage.
when I
This is
got
me at a
it, the
batting
camera
cage
broke by
hitting balls.
itself.
I think that's gotta
So-
be me, right?
Had a
Whoa,
great
this is
LG
crazy.
Unbreakable.
Dude, that is so
Felt
cool.
Still good.
This
The
is
water,
first
still
video on the
good.
phone. What is this?
Like
30
full bath,
seconds of
because
what?
sometimes I just
Who is
want to
that?
listen to some music. So I'm like,
people?
"Hey, put it
Зона
up there."
безопасности.
Then
Атакуйте
just
левый
jump in
ряд.
the water. I'm like,
Атакуйте
"Oh,
правый
shit."
ряд. База огня.
I
На
just
связь.
think it, right?
Связь на штаб.
still
Контакт.
works.
Многочисленные
To be honest with you, I'm not even sure who this
Then
is.
the next
That is
phone
kinda
was,
creepy, because I don't even know who that is.
I had another
Let's go to the
LG.
pictures. I think that there was only like 11
the
videos
first, the LG you saw me
on
when
the
we met.
phone. So let's go
LG
to the pictures
that I
and see how
had.
many there is. There's
That one,
67
and
pictures, so
after that,
these
then I
might
switched
be
to
a bit
iPhone.
better. Let's start
was
from
it.
like most recent. Okay, so this is. I don't know. I don't know who that
That's
is.
a-
I don't know either of those people are. This
That's
is
how far I
weird
could
because
go.
this is my phone. Nobody else had this phone. There's a Yankee hat. There's oh my God, yo! Oh, I was hoping like something like this would show up, and this is perfect. That is perfect. Take a screenshot, make a meme. That is amazing. Just a cursed image right there. Hopefully there's more. There's 60-something pictures. Oh, that is Yankee Stadium again. Yankee Stadium again. I must have went a lot as a kid. I don't remember going this much. That's my brother. That is my brother. I guess I could show this. It's like a poster that I had in my room. I guess I took a picture of it. I think this one's Kim Kardashian. Dude. Oh, this one's good. This one's even better than the last one. You got games on your phone, head ass. Oh my God, dude. I'm so happy I found this phone. Oh, look at that. That's a good shot. That is actually a good picture. That's probably the best picture that one of these phones has ever taken. I went to the zoo. I think it's the Miami Zoo. I took this picture of this giraffe. I got some more. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, I snapped. I used to always want to be a photographer, and this was pretty much the only camera I ever had. My cousin again. I'm feeling we're getting near the end. Oh, there's my dog. That's Rocky. That's Rocky. Oh my God, best dog ever. He just, it's so sad. He just passed away, like, literally last week. It's always nice to see him make an appearance. I miss you, buddy. And that is it, boys. That was fun. Let's try and take a picture on this and see what it looks like. Just in case in 100 years from now, when there's no other forms of technology, scientists find this phone with this picture I'm about to take on it. Let's see. Oh, the camera might be busted. Is it? No, it's not. Oh my God, look at this. Look at that. Oh, the
Ew,
frame
my
rate.
God.
All right, so I'm gonna have to flip it around, take a nice little selfie. I'm gonna have to angle this nice and good. Okay, I guess that's good enough. We'll save that one. All right, thank you for watching, guys. I know this video was like really all over the place, but hey, if you enjoyed it, drop a like, obviously, especially if you want to see me play this one right here and see what my dogs are up to. That would be fun. I realized my
They
face
ran
isn't in
away.
this whole video, but that'd be cool, you know? whole faceless video. You want to see what I look like? Go watch my other videos, huh? How about subscribing too, huh? Want to click that button? Half of you guys? Huh? That'd be nice. Anyways, there's another video on your screen right now. If you want to click it, go ahead, click it. I think this one right here, it's going to be better than the one you just watched, so you might as well watch it. If you want to watch better content, click this. I basically just said this video sucked.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know,
like my first phone, and I only had that Nokia for 3 months, 3 to 4 months, because it wanted to be an asshole.
The latest video game war is heating up tonight.
Right?
Nintendo
It wanted to be an asshole and not work. Like the tiles
The
would
Nintendo GameCube
freeze,
would launch in
and
September
I
of
wouldn't be
2001 in
able to
Japan,
even take
and a launch
pictures.
in North America
Like
would
it
follow
was
in
just
November.
ridiculous, and I had to
After
return it.
successfully
And I
launching
went
the
to
Game
go to
Boy
get an
Advance in
LG
the spring
Stylo,
and summer,
and I kept
all
that for
eyes were on
years on
Nintendo to
end.
see if their
And
new
I went and
system
got my
could
iPhone
live
when I
up to
started
their
working
past glory.
at GE. I started working
It
there,
wouldn't be
and
easy. The
I got a phone
Japanese
from there.
economy was in a
Like
slump.
I was like, I'm not
The
gonna buy
United
one. I'm
States
just
of
gonna get one
America
from
had
there.
just experienced the worst
Whatever.
terrorist attack in the country's history, and Sony had already been out on the market
So-
for over a year with the PlayStation 2.
That's the only
It would
thing
be the most difficult launch for
that I had
Nintendo
got.
yet.
But
This is the story.
now
of
I'm
the
not even
Nintendo
interested in
GameCube.
phones
And in
anymore.
this
Like
part,
to
we'll
get
take
the
a look
latest
at
and
the launch
greatest.
of the system
Like I'm not
and the
even
follow-up
interested.
from
Like
its
the
launch.
phone that I currently have
The
is
Nintendo
the
GameCube
iPhone 11,
launched in North
and the
America on
only
November
reason why I
18th,
even got it because my
2001. It
old
was priced at
iPhone, the iPhone 6 that I had at the time,
$199.99,
it stopped
and it came
working.
with
So
a
I was
system,
like, you know
one
what?
controller,
No, I had a
and the
6
appropriate
Plus.
hookups.
I had a 6
The
Plus.
system would
Then I
launch
went
with
to the
a total
7,
of
and it was a
12
small
games.
one.
Yeah.
Nintendo published
Yeah,
two
then I had
titles for
the,
their new
the
system,
7, but I didn't last that
Luigi's
long with the 7
Mansion
because
and
I was
Wave
like,
Race
ain't no
Blue Storm.
difference. So
Nintendo's
I
former
upgraded
rival
it
Sega
all the
would
way
release
up
two
to
titles at
11,
launch
and that's
after
about it for me. I'm not going
discontinuing
up
their
anymore.
Dreamcast system
Like that's it.
earlier in the
Until
year.
my iPhone starts
They
flying,
report
then I
Crazy
might
Taxi to
do
the
it.
system and bring a brand
Oh,
new
I remember that
exclusive to
Crazy
the
Taxi?
GameCube in Super Monkey Ball. The biggest launch title would be Factor 5's Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader, an exclusive to the system. The game was an audio and visual treat, featuring 480p
played that one?
resolution and 5-channel surround sound, thanks to Dolby Pro
You were
Logic 2.
killing it, huh?
The rest of
You
the
barely
launch
could see the
games would be
graphics.
rounded out with licensed
You know, back
titles
in
and
the day,
sports games.
It was like
As far as quantity was concerned,
For
the
you,
GameCube was
have you
definitely
have you
lacking.
ever had the experience like,
PlayStation 2 had launched
oh,
a
it's the
year
game?
earlier
That's how
with
the game
30
used to look
titles,
back then.
and it spent that year
Because to
releasing
you
more
back then,
critically
you remember
acclaimed
you didn't
games.
see
Yeah.
The
upgraded
Xbox,
graphics.
which released a
So
few
back
days
then,
before
that
the
shit was like
GameCube,
this was
launched
OP.
with the
Like you're
same
like,
number of
whoa.
titles, but it also
The
had
graphics
a
was
massive hit.
hella
Halo
heat,
Combat
bro.
Evolved.
But now when you go back to
Nintendo's
it, you're
lineup
like,
wasn't too bad, but
this is
compared
what I was
to what else
playing.
was out there, it's hard
Right?
to argue that
Come on now.
Nintendo started off on the right foot.
come on now, look
It
at
was
it.
even smaller in Japan. Only 3 titles launched with the system in September: the 2 Nintendo
I
published
used to play
games
that.
and Sega's Super Monkey Ball. While the quality of the games wasn't
But I had
too
pretty
bad,
good trial.
there just
I haven't
wasn't a
played it.
killer
Like, I
app
have
for
the
the
game.
system. Just a few weeks after the launch on December 2nd,
this?
Nintendo would release 2 new exclusives for the
Oh,
system.
those are the yeah. I
first
remember
was a
those.
new IP,
I forgot what it's called.
Pikmin,
It started with a
from the
K.
legendary game developer Shigeru Miyamoto. The second
I think it
would
started
go on
out.
to become the best-selling game on the GameCube, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Melee would
Yeah.
create one of the biggest followings of any Nintendo game. The title would sell over 7 million units, and it's still being played by major competitive fighting game tournaments to this day. Nintendo delayed the initial release of the GameCube by 2 weeks to ensure that they had an ample supply of systems. 700,000 GameCubes would be available for the launch, but what good is it to have a system that no one knows about? In North America, the GameCube would receive a $75 million ad campaign. This paled in comparison to Microsoft's marketing push for the Xbox, which came in at $500 million. Nintendo was somewhat struck by this.
Xbox Live.
Microsoft began promoting the Xbox in retailers much earlier than game makers had done in the past. Nintendo would go so far as to reach out to retailers asking why the Xbox would be promoted months before its launch. Nintendo's ad campaign was mostly used to highlight first and second party Nintendo games. The campaign featured full-page ads in magazines, giant banners in malls, and even a Hollywood party featuring the biggest and brightest stars at the time. Of course, Nintendo also invested in television commercials as well. They're interesting. Ads would showcase games and would feature the GameCube's iconic shape. Microsoft was out to make their name
I don't think
known with the
I
Xbox, and
have
Nintendo
seen a
struggled to match their
commercial.
marketing presence.
Like, to be
Microsoft
honest
would
with
have
you,
commercials on
to
major networks,
in
including
like to
ESPN and
inform me to
Comedy
go buy
Central.
them. Like, I don't
They
think
would have
I've seen the
massive print
commercial
ads and even a
back in the
promotion
day
with Taco Bell.
to get one. I just
Microsoft's
wanted
goal
one.
wasn't
Like,
to
I heard it from a
completely
word of
snuff out
mouth.
its competition with the
Like, hey, you
GameCube,
know, you can play these
but
racing
rather to
games. You
snuff
can
out
play
all of its
like
competition in the
do
market.
like I
At the end of the day, it
knew
helped
about
Microsoft
these games
establish a
when
foot
I
in
went
the
to
console
GameStop.
market, and it stayed there
Like,
to
that's
this
how I
day.
found out about these systems.
After
I
the
didn't know
North
nothing
American
about these
launch of the
systems until I
GameCube,
walked
one
in
final piece
and I was
of
like, oh, can I get
Nintendo-related
that?
hardware
And they would
would
be
launch
playing
in
it on the screen.
2001.
But I was
On
already
December 13th,
about to buy it.
Panasonic
You know what I'm
released the
saying?
Panasonic Cube.
So I
It was a
honestly
game
didn't
console with a similar
see
design
any
to the
ads
GameCube
on
and
TV like,
even
oh my
played
god, can you take me to the
GameCube
GameStop and go?
games.
Like, I've
The
never
most
seen a
notable
commercial.
difference was the
I literally just went in
included
there
DVD
and
player
then
on the
it was
system.
just something that we were passing
The
by at the
system came
time.
about
It was
from a
like
deal
literally
between
Kmart
Nintendo
and
and
stuff like that,
Matsushita,
Sears,
the
whatever.
parent company for
And I was
Panasonic.
like, oh, there.
The
And they had
system
like
would launch at a
a
retail
you know,
price
you're a child,
of
so you're like, whoa, so many
39,800 yen,
games.
or
And
roughly
you're just like, I want this.
$440 US.
You know?
Despite its added features,
And
the
that's about it.
Panasonic Cube was
I think
largely a
that's
failure.
how I got into the
It sold
gaming.
only around 100,000 units. and
But I
was never
started off
released
playing
outside of
games
Japan.
that were like
The
two-dimensional.
biggest problem was the
They weren't
cost
even
of the
three-dimensional
system.
yet.
While having an all-in-one unit
You know what I'm
is
saying? Playing
convenient,
like
the Panasonic
Resident
Cube ended up
Evil
costing
with the
more than a
cone
separate
titties.
GameCube and a DVD
You know, I'm playing
player.
Tomb Raider with the
It
cone
would be
titties.
discontinued in December of 2003,
So
just 2 years after its release.
when they turn
Despite the
like
strong
this.
competition, the GameCube would have a successful launch in North
Hey,
America.
those are the
selling
games
through
that I
most of its
played.
allotted stock. Nintendo was off to a
Final
decent
Fantasy
start.
never gonna die.
What followed was
Because
probably
they keep
the
building a
worst
lot of
period
stuff
for
and
the
they getting a lot
GameCube.
of awards
Its
too.
first year drought.
And the songs
From
are really
January
good.
to August of 2002, the GameCube would only see a single first or second party exclusive come to the system. The M-rated horror title, Eternal Darkness. Nintendo would also release the first ever first-party developed wireless controller for a game console, the Wavebird. The Wavebird was slightly larger than the original GameCube controller and lacked the rumble feature, but was completely wireless. Nintendo would see some support from third parties, notably an enhanced port
Sonic.
of Sonic Adventure 2 and a remake of Capcom's hit Resident Evil. The lack
Mm.
of software was noticeable, and Nintendo would spend its time reminding the world
When I
to
played
hold
that
out
game,
hope
bro,
for the titles coming soon. With
I was
the
getting
GameCube's
scared
launch
because the
behind
way
them,
they had the
much of
game,
Nintendo's
right?
staff would see
You
a
would come from
shakeup.
one door, but you couldn't
Many
see.
high-level
You
executives
would have to.
retire or
It would
join
be like
different
one
companies.
scene, so you
The
wouldn't
biggest
see what was what was
Hiroshi
coming up,
Yamauchi,
and that
the
was what
president
was
of
scary in the
Nintendo.
game because you couldn't
Yamauchi
see
had
what
been
was
the
coming up
president
and
of
attacking
Nintendo
you.
since
Like
1949, at
it's
the
basically
young age
like
of
you're in a
22.
cube
Yamauchi
and they
would
keep
completely
rotating the
change
scenes,
Nintendo as a
and
company
you only
during
could
his
see one side
53-year
at a
reign
time.
as president,
So that's how
transforming them from
that's
a
what made the
small
game
toy company in
scary.
Japan to a
But I
global
finished
leader in the
it.
video game
After it
market.
was done, I was like, that's
Yamauchi
it.
had been planning his retirement for a
I
while.
think the only time that I
and
was
had
scared in that
picked his
game
successor,
was when a dog
Satoru
flew out
Iwata.
through the window.
Iwata
And I was like,
had joined
oh,
Nintendo
and
in
that was about it.
2000 as the head of its corporate planning division, as well as sitting on the board of directors. Iwata had made a name for himself, previously as the president of HAL Laboratories. Iwata would become the company's fourth president, and the first not to be related to the Yamauchi family by marriage or blood. Iwata's leadership
Yo,
style
you remember
was
that
very
game?
different from that of his
I don't know because you had this.
He
You
started
had
by
it.
meeting with all of the department
Have you-
heads at Nintendo.
Have you
Iwata
played
would
that game
encourage
with the brain
employees to
stuff? Like
follow
you
their
play
own
like these
ideas when
puzzles.
they disagreed
Like,
with his direction. stating,
brain something.
Creators only improve
I forgot what it's
themselves by
called.
taking risks.
It looked like him.
Satoru Iwata would become president of Nintendo in May of 2002 and would serve as the head of Nintendo during the rest of the GameCube's lifespan.
Like it looks
Iwata
like
would
him.
become one of the most respected
it's
and
like
beloved
a
figures
game
in the
where
video game
it does you
industry
do
during
math,
the 2010s as he
like
hosted Nintendo
math.
Direct. Iwata would serve
I
as
think
president of
some
Nintendo
other stuff
until
in
his
there,
death
and you would like
in
do like
2015.
hurry and do the numbers. Like
He
it's
was
like a time
55.
thing. It was like a brain stuff, like
The software draft
brain
of the GameCube would
teasers or
come
something
to
like
an end in
that,
August of
like something like that.
2002,
And you would
when
just
the
do
highly anticipated
get him
Super Mario
done.
Sunshine released to critical acclaim.
I played that too.
The title was a follow-up to the beloved Super Mario 64.
I played
that
Super
had
Mario
released
until he
alongside the
became
Nintendo
until he had the
64.
hat with the
Despite
eyes.
its differences from previous titles, the game would go on to sell 5
And he would like
million
fling him around.
copies,
The one I
making
didn't
it
play
the
was the
third
one that he was like
best-selling
he looked like a
GameCube title
raccoon.
ever. Other
When he had the
notable
tail.
releases at this time
I
included
didn't
Animal
play that
Crossing
one.
for North America America.
When
and
he
the
was
Legend
like
of Zelda:
flying
Wind Waker
and he was
in
like
Japan.
this.
Sega would port
Brain
Phantasy
Age,
Star Online to
yes.
the GameCube in October.
Yes,
the
Brain
only online
Age.
GameCube
I
game
would
to ever be
play
released
that.
internationally.
Like
In
every time I
September
came
of
from school,
2002,
that was the first
Star
thing that my
Fox
mom put out in
Adventures
front of me.
would
She was
be
like,
released on the GameCube.
"Hey, you gotta get a good score." I'm like, "Damn, okay." That was the game that I was playing.
Would mark a special occasion.
What?
It would
You
be
never
the
played it?
last title
Brain
Rare would
Age?
ever release
I'm gonna
on
have
a
to get the game for
Nintendo
you.
home console.
Because I didn't know if you smarter.
Rare would become a
Right.
second-party developer
Yes,
under Nintendo
Cappy.
in the mid-90s. The
Ooh,
company started
keep
making
coming
games
off.
for Nintendo consoles with the NES, but made their mark with
But
the
I didn't
release of
play the one
Donkey
where
Kong
he's a
Country on
he's
the
like
Super
a
Nintendo
raccoon or something
in
like that. I don't know if he's a
1994.
raccoon.
For the next
But
8
I've never
years,
played that
Rare
one.
would become one of Nintendo's most important assets.
Never played that one.
Rare would create several of their own
Have you played Sonic and
successful
Mario?
IPs,
The
as well as
Olympics?
create some of the best licensed
You
titles
played that
of
one?
the era.
I love that one.
Rare
I loved all of
became
them.
restless as a second party with Nintendo. In 2001, they began to shop around for
I
a
love
new
this game.
partner, a company that would purchase 100%
There's
of the
one of
company.
them when you finish the game.
Nintendo seemed
You're
an
like near the
obvious
boat
choice,
and everyone's
and
like
had the option
dancing.
to make the first bid on the company. Rare,
Everyone's
however,
dancing
was
at the end.
interested in working with
Even
a
the crocodile.
third-party
I think it's a
developer,
crocodile or
so they had
alligator.
access
Just
to
like
all the current
no, it's the
consoles.
alligator. Just
A bidding
dancing.
war broke out for the company. Activision and Microsoft
Oh my
had both
God,
expressed interest in
Activision.
the company and began making offers. Eventually, Activision would withdraw, leaving Microsoft as the sole bidder. Nintendo still had the priority option to purchase the rest of Rare, but Microsoft had raised their bid too high for Nintendo to feasibly consider it. Nintendo would sell their portion of the ownership of Rare for $375 million to Microsoft, making Rare a first-party studio for the tech giant. At the end of the day, it only made sense for Nintendo to sell the company.
Oh, I remember that
Rare's
game.
production of titles had slowed down during the early days of the GameCube. Nintendo still
Oh,
wanted
what is
full
this
ownership
game?
of Rare,
I completely
but the
forgot
price
the
tag
name of
associated
these
with it was
games.
just too great.
I'm so disappointed. This
Microsoft
game.
would win out in the end.
I've never played it,
not
but I've
just
seen
by
it. I've seen
gaining
a lot of
another
trailers of
well-known
it.
development studio,
But I've never gotten the
but by
chance to play it.
denying Nintendo one of their key players. With Rare gone, Nintendo turned to their other development studios to continue the effort of quality titles for the Nintendo GameCube. Luckily for Nintendo, a small studio would become an overnight sensation just a few months later. Retro Studios was founded in 1998 by a group
Bango,
of former
yes,
acclaimed
yes.
developers in Austin, Texas. Retro had received funding from
I've seen them
Nintendo
so
to
many
create new
times
titles
in
for
the Game
GameCube
Informer
that catered to
magazine.
an adult
You know when you
audience.
get the Game Informer
They were one of the
magazines from
first
GameStop?
developers to receive Nintendo
When you sign up
GameCube
for it?
development kits and would begin work on multiple exclusive titles for the system. Titles
I
that
don't
include
get it.
Raven Blood, an
I wanna carry a
RPG,
book,
Thunder
not like
Rally,
a-
a
It's
racing
not a
title,
book.
It
It's
was
a
a retro
magazine.
football
a licensed football game,
They shipped them
and
to
a
the
project
house.
simply
You never
known
had
as
them shipped to your
Action
house?
Adventure.
If it's shipped to the
All of
house,
the
I'll
titles,
be.
excluding
I'll
Action
buy it.
Adventure, would be
How you gonna know when the latest and greatest
Retro
game come out?
staff would be
I'll go
cut
there.
down to
You damn
compensate.
lie.
Poor
You're
management
damn
plagued
lie.
Retro during their early days.
He said, "I
The
go
studio was
there."
understaffed for the amount of titles they were working on. and
They don't
company
even be
president
having
Jeff
them present by the
Spangenberg
time you go
was
over there.
oftentimes absent during the workday. With the controversy surrounding the studio, Spangenberg would eventually sell Retro Studios to Nintendo in May of 2002 for $1 million. Retro's
Goddamn.
next task wouldn't be an easy one, though. Metroid had been missing in action for a while. The last title in the series was Super Metroid, which released in 1994. Nintendo never created a Metroid title for the Nintendo 64, citing the difficult task of translating the series to 3D. Retro would transform action-adventure into Metroid Prime.
Now they got
Not
games
only
like
would it be the first
Cuphead
Metroid
that's like
title
that.
in 3D,
There it
but
stands
would be the
still, you gotta
first
do
title
boss
in the
levels,
series to be developed
case
by an
may be.
American developer. Retro Studios would
You never
rush
played
to
Cuphead?
finish Metroid Prime before its fall
I think that's what it's
2002
called.
release. Their efforts would pay off
It's like
when
something like
Metroid
that.
Prime
That's
was
Doom?
released on November
that?
17th, 2002
That's Doom?
to critical and commercial success.
No,
The
that's,
title would help
Oh, it's still
revitalize the
Metroid? Okay.
Metroid franchise.
No,
and would
because I
see
already
two
saw
additional sequels
first person. I
before
was
being
like, is that
spun off
them?
into its own series.
Is that them?
Retro would become one of Nintendo's most consistent developers, and the studio continues to make games for Nintendo to this day. Nintendo struggled greatly during its first year on the market with the GameCube. The lack of major software for the system slowed any momentum Nintendo had gained during its launch. The system would rebound later in 2002 thanks to strong first-party titles, but Nintendo's competition knew that blood was in the water. It would take everything in the company's power to make the GameCube a success. This is the third part to a multi-part series covering the story of the Nintendo GameCube. You can support this series
Animal
by sharing this video
Crossing.
on your favorite social.
Animal Crossing. Oh yeah, Banjo Kazoo. Banjo Kazoo. That's what it was. Oh, Star Fox. I must have not seen that. I probably wasn't focused on that. Yeah, Banjo Kazoo. That you remember that movie? That's an old movie, bro. That's an old movie. All right, let me see. I think go check on the phones real quick. Make sure it's still there. Your phone again. You're so disappointed in your phone. Is my sister's phone still going? You good? It turned off, like dead? Oh, it's not in the charger? Alright, give us a second, y'all. JP.
I can't see your face because you just been moving slow-mo. Fighting battles in my head, I think I'm at the dojo. And I think your shawty really want a photo. But I don't feel okay at my low. At my low, yeah, I'm at my low. Say that you relate to me, but I don't think you know, no. I'm in my own zone, talking about the ozone. But he tried to run up on me, got him saying, whoa. Like, no, I cannot let you in. Think I care about myself, I'm sorry that I'm selfish. But I can't help it, sorry I'm the eldest. If you try to take it from me, I'm gonna leave you helpless.
I know I'm selfish, but I can't help it. Pull up on me, shooters gonna stay on what's the hell, bitch. I can fuck around with all these other hoes. I've been feeling down, cause I've been in my low. All my friends supporting make me wanna blow. Taking drugs, I'm way too high, I wanna go home. But I don't feel okay at my low.
But I don't feel okay at my low. At my low, yeah, I'm at my low. Say that you relate to me, but I don't think you know, no. I'm in my own zone, talking about the ozone. But he tried to run up on me, got him saying, whoa.
Bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just like, ayy. Voice so damn distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring. Ayy, good, Marty. Bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just like, ayy. Voice so damn distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring.
I'ma fuck your bitch like a fucking body pillow. Bring her to my crib, ain't talking Zillow. Shawty flying, better smoke 100 kilos. She throw it back, now she a weeping willow.
The new testament shadow the revenant. I got some powers, I'm tripping some element. You so irrelevant, body like elephant. Never did bigger, that body was never in crowded whip. It's the shit like NASCAR. Powder, pair my feelings, turn my backer. He don't like me, wanna fight a cracker. But I told him go away, I'm better. Pull up on the motherfucking scene, get the buddy out of beans. I'm a double Nazarene. I ain't really wanna be because she study at the lean. If she can get you on the head and seen all her streams. Gotta go down, pipe down, go and bring your mama. Benjamin's accounting up the commas. I don't want her cause she out of drama. Get ahead, it's pity like a llama.
Good morning, Benjamins are starting. I make this shit look easy, I'm so motherfucking boring. We going up, slippy bodies and Warren.
shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just flirt, ayy. Voice so that distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring. Hey, good, Martin. Bitch, I'm in a fight. Lil' hoe steady talking shit, but we all know she bored. I might start, just flirt, ayy. Voice so that distorted. Bitch, I wanna go sleep up on these bitch like snoring.
JP.
You don't need this, get this shit out your system. AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like the alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She gave me head, so I'm getting her wisdom. You don't need this, get this shit out your system. AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like the alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She gave me head, so I'm getting her wisdom. I've been so damn dry, can't lie. If you tryna say hello, then I'ma hit you with a vibe. When I be walking through a store, there ain't a thing that I can buy. Ooh, lately I've been looking around, I'm tryna find the antidote. Can't no find a thing unless he's talking about that medical. Try to own the government, I think I'm going federal. Think that boy a fruit cause he be looking like a cantaloupe. They be getting dizzy cause I'm running around in circles. Reaching to the top, they know way over a hurdle. They think I do it cause I'm someone you ain't heard of. Living on some shit and a little bit of Smirnoff. I'm still going fast and I ain't worried about a comma. I ain't worried about he beat it cause they steady on some drama. How to make it on, I'ma do it for my mama. Then I hold up to the bank, I got a smell, I'm going one or two. Be honest on me, not you. I don't know what that boy got a clue. Zoom, I'm a motherfucking cool. Now my baby so blue. Come on, why don't you just tell me what to do? What you really tryna do? You don't need this, get this shit out your system. AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like the alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She gave me head, so I'm getting her wisdom. You don't need this, get this shit out your system. AR-15 water scope, but you miss some. Feel like the alpha, I'm feeling some missile. She gave me head, so I'm getting her wisdom.
All right, we're back. All right, so let's go ahead and do this stuff because you really want to watch it so badly. Go ahead, go figure out how he did that.
By looking at it.
I think it's somebody's house.
No. That's what I said.
Nah, that's a parking lot.
You sure?
That's a parking lot, man. That's
Okay,
definitely gotta be a
okay.
parking lot. Cause you should know that not every parking lot looks the same. So that could have been a parking lot or a garage thing. God damn! Oh what? All this space that the car had to put it. Why they put it so close? God damn. Bruh.
He went in.
My God. It's gonna turn. It's gonna get snapped. It's gonna get snapped. Why didn't he just wait? Look at his foot. Oh! Oh!
Jesus! Woo!
That's all you can say. Why would... How? 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 And it's still going. Dude, you're taking the whole rock. The fuck?
Well, what we got here, people, is a incident in Ozark, Missouri.
where this man thought he could drive on concrete. And they just letting him sit there. I guess they're gonna call a wrecker, but he's an older fella. Well, it's a sad situation. Look how deep it is. Almost right up to the bumper. There's the wrecker. All right, they're gonna pull him out.
Don't tell me they're gonna get this thing stuck.
Oh, bless their hearts.
Oh, okay.
Oi. It's exactly what you deserve, you scum!
I guess they were offending the woman or something like that. What? There ain't nobody in the car. Bruh. Wait, 1 foot? Wait, does that work like that? Does that work? Is it very fragile? Is that glass very fragile? I don't know. I try not to hit nobody in the window like that. I hate when trucks do that. There's some of them like to be assholes. Some of them, they do it just because somebody else is being an asshole. Bruh.
Hey man, you put it into the bill. Damn!
What? Damn!
Damn! Damn! Oh, that nigga! Oh! Bro, he just a whole. Wow! Unbelievable! Look, knock the goddamn bumper right off. Look at that! Oh my god! And she's doing 60 miles an hour! Holy shit, look at this!
No, that was dumb. That was very dumb. You could have saw that come. If you ever get in this situation, just pay the $60. Pay the $80. Because now you dislocated. Now you try to having a car now. And now that money that you could have just paid is going to be now paying for the damages. When, better yet, you could have just, or let it just take it to the shop and just pay that. You know what I'm saying? That's very stupid of them to be doing that. You think he didn't have the money? I'm pretty sure he had the money. This is why I don't let cars go. One lane let you go doesn't mean the second lane is gonna let you go. My God. Oh, I saw this one. I saw this one. His house right there. His house right there. He gonna reverse all the way back and to go to the look.
Honk at you? I honked at you, so you just still go anyway? I honked at you. I was too close to you.
What the?
You did it wrong.
Stop.
You don't know how to drive.
It's at that moment I was like, you're good, you're good, you're good. God damn.
Oh, oh my Lord, bro. Oh my goodness. Holy oh my goodness.
You're speeding when it's speed.
Holy oh my Lord, what the we gonna do, bro? Holy
It's gonna, come on now. Are you serious? It's broke, dude. It's broke. Y'all, people who has our cars and y'all letting other people that don't know nothing about the car tell y'all to come in. Like, no. We're at the back. Why not take them off and then put them back? God damn. Look, I was like, I'm going. You missing it, man? Look, look. Couldn't wait. That's not his first rodeo. What the? It's embarrassing. Ready to see the thing. Man.
Oh!
You can't say that he don't want to. Your whole bumper is in the as an example. Who's that? Now we gotta search it up. Who's that? Well, I know he not. Brother drifting like he in the midnight club. He said, "You know what?
Tá bom, tá bom.
Just pay the thing." Hey. She eating stuff that she's not supposed to eat. What the? So you don't give idiots jobs like that. She's not the one that's driving. She's not the one that's driving. She's not the one that's driving. No, no, no. Please don't do it. Don't do it. You don't know how deep that thing is. Dude, it's already getting close to the engine. That's it. The car finished. The car finished. The car finished. It's done. It's done. You're gonna be stuck there now. Now it's floating. It's done. She's an old lady. She already apologizing. What the? Why do all that? What?
Wait.
The one on the top caused it. Where you going? Huh? Oh, you gonna check them? Okay, use your restroom real quick.
beat, got a piss alright. I wanna watch your leg, cause push so tight. Yeah, shut so bad, I'ma give it that pipe. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches on me, aight. Shoot it up on sight, piss like Cody and Sprite. Pow, 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 chop it up right outside. She give me a song like
Nothing to say, I done gave my devotion. Stuck in my head, going through my emotions. Killing this beat, causing all this commotion. Money on me, I'm the one who was chosen. Chasing the bag on the every show. Left to the bank like this shit is a joke. Why with a cane, I ain't doing no coke. Designer on me like this Burberry coat. I'm turning heads when I'm walking that bitch. I got bitches on bitches, bro, turning with a snitch. Walk with a glitch, cause I walk with a blick. I wish your bitches, she sucking my. Gave him my kiss, she gon' suck him up.